Hello, I'm Karen O'Shea, a textile artist and educator based in Cardiff on the edge of the Gwent levels. From childhood, I was inspired to draw, make, sew and use tools to fix things. I began using my mum's sewing machine when I was about 7 and soon started to make my own clothes. Now I love to inspire others of all ages and abilities into creativity, which is so valuable for well-being. Today I'm at one of the venues where I teach, the lovely Rural Skills Centre set on a working farm overlooking the beautiful ancient wetlands landscape and the Severn estuary beyond. It takes my breath away every time I come down the drive and see this panoramic view. Much of the inspiration for my art textiles comes from nature, so I like to capture moments on walks to interpret in stitched and mixed media artworks. Today I want to show you how to make a simple concertina sketchbook and how to use it to capture moments on a walk. If you fancy some hand stitching, the next video shows how a simple sketch can inspire a freestyle hand embroidery. I always try to work as sustainably as possible, so often use recycled materials and repurposing methods in my work. Today's concertina sketchbook is no exception, as you can make it with junk mail, packaging that you don't plan to use, and old paper scraps. I guess even the book itself could be recycled one day. If I'm going on holiday or on a long walk where I don't want to carry anything too heavy, these compact little books are really handy and cost absolutely nothing. Having a cover isn't essential, but it does give you a firm surface to lean on behind your pages. So apart from cardboard for the cover, like cereal packets or delivery packaging, you'll need scissors, a glue stick and papers that aren't shiny and can be drawn on. Envelopes from bills are good, as are old book pages, which can also add to the interest. Decide how big you want the book to be and cut the cover to size. Mine are about 10 centimetres tall and about 12 centimetres wide. Smaller ones fit into your pocket more easily and can make best use of the materials. Cut your papers to roughly the right height and don't worry about it having to be perfect. The width doesn't matter either, as it can be interesting if the paper changes halfway across a page. Start gluing the papers one to the next. At least 6 page widths is good, maybe no more than 10, as if it's too wide you risk it flapping about in the wind and tearing. Glue the first edge inside the cover of the book and then begin folding in a concertina fashion to fit inside the book. And now it's ready to use. To draw or paint in the book, use whatever comes to hand, be it a pencil, a biro or whatever. I find it helps if you restrict yourself to a narrow colour palette, as it is less juggling of drawing materials in the outdoors too. Maybe a Sharpie and a couple of coloured pencils or paints. Today I'm going to use a charcoal pencil and my watercolour paints. You'll need a pot of water too, either a full jam jar or a separate bottle of water. Mine are dye-based pigments, so they'd probably stain my hands. A shoulder bag to carry it all is a good idea, something you can keep reaching into without having to bend down maybe. So I'll load up, get my coat on and we're ready to go. I have come a few minutes away by car to Hendra Lake at the edge of the Gwent levels. The lake is lovely to walk around, not least because of the water birds that visit and all the creatures and insects that you see. I'm going to have a little walk, and when I spot something of interest, I'll stop and do a quick sketch. It could take me between 30 minutes and an hour. The book is continuous, just like the journey, each sketch made as you spot things on your walk. Rather than taking a photo, you observe objects more closely. You can even write words of how you feel or what you hear or smell. This oak tree has caught my eye. I love the shape of oak leaves, and already I'm thinking this could be the theme for my embroidery today. The first thing I notice is the autumn colours, and whilst I could use artistic license and choose any colour, I think I'll stick to greens, russets and yellows. Your drawings don't have to be amazing. It's more about capturing a moment in a way that is meaningful to you than about creating a masterpiece. It might be the colour, the shape or the pattern of an object that appeals to you. We're only about 1 mile from the sea wall here that keeps out the tide of the Severn estuary. This part is known as the Gwent levels, and it's a site of special scientific interest for its ancient network of hedges and man-made waterways known as reens, dating from Roman times, which have protected this richly biodiverse agricultural land from flooding ever since. There are lots of rare birds, bats, small mammals, reptiles and species of threatened insects here, including one of Britain's rarest bees, the shrill Cardiff bee, whose habitat is the flower-rich meadows, and it's critical they're left unharvested until after September, when the bees emerge and mate. And that's it for today. My little book is full, and I have some inspiration from my art textiles and a lovely memory of my walk. Join me in the next video if you would like to find out how you can create a small freestyle embroidery with your sketches as inspiration.